So today we are solving literal equations. Literal equations just means we have more than one letter in our equation. Notice we have an x and a y. When you have a literal equation, it's going to tell you what to solve for. So in this case, we're solving for the y. So we start by drawing our line down the middle just like normal. And it's going to work similar to a two-step equation. So right here, we always want to get rid of what's not directly attached to what we're solving for. We're going to move the negative 2x. We move that by doing the opposite. So we are going to add 2x to both sides. Negative 2x and positive 2x zero each other out, and we bring down our 3y equals. Now notice we have 12 and 2x. They are not like terms, so we cannot combine them. So I'm going to rewrite it 2x plus 12. This way it shows that we still have both of them and they're not combined. The last step we now have is to get rid of the 3. Right now the 3 and the y are being multiplied together, so the opposite would be division. When we divide, we have to divide every single thing. So here I'm going to divide by all 3 of them by 3. On this side, the 3 and the 3 want each other out, so we mark them out and bring down our y equals. 2 divided by 3 cannot be simplified, so we're going to leave it as 2/3 x. But 12 divided by 3 is going to give us 4. Notice we have y all by itself, so we have solved for y. This would be our answer. We're going to skip down to number 3 because it's very similar to number 1. So notice once again, it says solve for y, so we're trying to get this y by itself. Draw our line down the middle, and we're going to start just like we did the last one by getting rid of the x term. Notice this time though it's a positive 8x, so we're going to subtract 8x from both sides. These ones zero each other out, bring down our negative 7y equals. Once again, we have 14 and negative 8x. They are not like terms, so we just rewrite them. Negative 8x plus 14. From here, our last step is to divide by the negative 7. Remember, we have to divide all 3 terms by the negative 7. These one out, we bring down our y equals. Negative 8 divided by negative 7, the only way we can simplify it is by changing our negatives to positives. So now I have a positive 8 over 7x. And then we do 14 divided by negative 7, which gives us negative 2. Now that one is solved for y, and we are done. The next type of problem we're going to see quite often looks like this. Notice we have parentheses. We have x and we have y, but it tells us solve for y. So we're solving for this y right here. So draw our line down the middle. Now before I can start getting stuff away from the y, I have to deal with the parentheses. Remember, parentheses mean to distribute and multiply. So we bring down this side, y plus 5. It doesn't change yet. Then we distribute. Negative 6 times x gives us negative 6x. Negative 6 times 2 is negative 12. Now I'm allowed to move this positive 5 that's with the y to move it over here. To change a positive 5, we would subtract 5. On this side, I'm going to subtract it from the constant because this doesn't have an x, so I can't subtract it from the x term. So minus 5 right here. These zero out, bring down our y equals. The negative 6 comes down. Negative 12 minus 5, they're the same sign, so we keep the sign and add the numbers. So negative 17. Now we have solved for y. We're going to go ahead and go down to number 4. It is very similar to number 2. So draw our line, once again, solve for y. So we're getting the y by itself. But just like in number 2, we have the parentheses we have to deal with, so we have to distribute and multiply. Bring down our y minus 3. 2/3 times x gives us 2/3 x. 2/3 times negative 9 would give us a negative 6. From here, now I can get rid of the negative 3, so we would add 3 to both sides. Once again, I add it to the constant, not the x term. These zero out, we bring down our y equals. 2/3 comes down as is. And then negative 6 plus 3, they're opposite signs, so the larger number we keep the sign, and then subtract the numbers from each other. 6 minus 3 gives us 3. And now we have our answer. Number 5 and 6 we will leave to do tomorrow in class. If you want to try them, feel free. Otherwise, we will solve them in class tomorrow.